Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be on this Monday, October 6th, 2025. Kind of hard to believe we've got 76 days until winter begins, at least in this hemisphere. Today is the full hunter's moon, which is sort of an interesting day, I suppose. Let's see, I'm just looking it up here. Native Americans named October's moon the hunter's moon because it was the time to hunt in preparation for winter. Other tribes called it the travel moon and the dying grass moon. So, and I've seen that moon. I hope you have. It's pretty amazing, pretty full and beautiful. And it has been beautiful. My goodness, the weather this weekend was beyond amazing. Today, again, sunny. It's actually relatively warm. It's just not going to stay as warm. That's the big change. The high looks higher than it actually is because it gets to the peak, but doesn't stay there for very long, and then drops back down to the 70s. But it's just so lovely. Continues to be. Okay, let's take our 2-minute trip around the world, and today's special city for our quick escape from wherever you may be is Patra, Greece, which is a port city with a rich history and a large student population known for its carnival and proximity to the Peloponnese. So a little more context. As of 2021, the municipality of Patra had a population of 215,000, while the urban population was 173,000. Let's see, dubbed as Greece's gateway to the West, Patra is a commercial hub, while its busy port is a nodal point for trade and communication with Italy and the rest of Western Europe. The city has 3 public universities, hosting a large student population and rendering Patra an important scientific center. So every year in February, the city hosts one of Europe's largest carnivals. Notable features of the Patra Carnival include its mammoth satirical floats and balls and parades enjoyed by hundreds of thousands of visitors in a Mediterranean climate. Wow, that sounds amazing. Patra is also famous for supporting an indigenous culture scene, active mainly in the performing arts and modern urban literature. This is according to Wikipedia. So if any of that is wrong, I guess we need to update Wikipedia. And there's more, but we'll leave it at there. How is Patra doing these days, this October? Well, today, severe thunderstorm warning, a high of 68 degrees, which is 20 degrees Celsius, severe thunderstorm warning. But by Wednesday, back to sunny skies, and they'll be in the mid 60s to a high of 70 Fahrenheit, which is 18 to 20 degrees Celsius for a high. So it looks a little bit even cooler than here, and a very lovely place indeed. All right, so that's been our 2-minute trip around the world. And I enjoy it. You know, there's so much nonsense going on here that I enjoy a little bit of, where could we be holidaying right now, or, enjoying a cafe somewhere around the world. And today I went to Greece, which was pretty cool and random because I used the random city picker as always. All right. What has been kind of mulling over or, bubbling up in my mind? Look, the podcast that I'm launching in January, which is, at least in the beginning, the name is going to be the Building Business Relationships Podcast, or BBR Pod. Really excited about it. And I'm getting traction with people, just talking with people in my network and new people that I'm meeting around it. And I have to say, the level of excitement and generosity and curiosity is pretty high. When I tell people what this is all about, I'm getting incredible responses. I've already had offers for celebrity guests, for all kinds of different guests. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to have some conversations in this pre-launch 3 months, because we're basically 3 months out. Have some conversations. We're going to build the audience before we launch, okay? And these initial conversations are going to be shorter, but we're going to explore kind of where the nexus between business and relationships and a happy life is for people from different walks of life, and get their take on it. And what's interesting to them? What questions do they think are worthy of exploring? Where does their curiosity take them? And we'll be putting that out in the coming weeks. So hopefully I can get the first one recorded this week, and so I can start putting out content within a week and drum up some genuine excitement and interest. I think it's the time. Every time there's a difficult period or whatever, or things are just volatile, it's an opportunity to create new things, to generate new interest. And so I think the topic of how we relate to one another in all realms of society, including starting with business, frankly, is going to be quite relevant for folks. So that's been really exciting. And then, the mindset lesson that's coming up, I don't mean to overuse working out in the gym and things, but there are some things that are just so spot on. And one thing that hit me was, you can go to the gym and, if you're lifting and you say, okay, I'm going to do, 3 sets of 12, right? Or 12 reps for set 1, hopefully 12 reps for set 2, and do as many as I can for set 3. You can vary the weight, but what top trainers say is focusing on finishing a certain number of reps as your goal puts your mind in the wrong space. And it's really true. And I think about this. If I'm focused on getting the reps done, what's going to happen is I'm going to injure myself. I'm going to exert muscles that are not the actual target of the exercise, just to just to complete it. And maybe speed up too fast. So you increase your injury, you decrease the amount of effect you have on building the muscle, and it's just not as effective. And so what is effective is you're better off doing fewer reps, but going more slowly and focusing not only on the extension, but coming back down slowly from whatever it is, and not just going quickly, and letting the muscles be put under tension and resistance both directions. That will do way more than just finishing 12. And I think about this like the same applies to so many other things. Fasting, for example. If you say, I'm going to fast, I'm going to do 16 and 8, right? 16 non-eating hours, 8 eating hours. But if you fill up those 8 hours with 20,000 calories, it's hardly going to make your fasting period work. I mean, once your 8-hour period, your 8-hour window starts, if you're stuffing donuts and, all kinds of things, and you just kind of concentrate too much eating, it doesn't work because your mind's on the wrong thing. Your mind is on the hours and not the point of restriction, to give your body a chance to burn and to lose the fat. And so I think this applies to a lot of things. Asking myself, where is my real attention on this task? If it's on the number that doesn't matter, then I might get some results, but the results may not be what I really wanted. And so the question is, what are you going to focus on this week that's going to actually make a difference? Might be better off to focus on fewer things, but the right things, than on more things that are sort of tangential to the point. I'm going to practice that lesson today. I don't know about you, but I'm going to practice that lesson today and see how it goes. Again, super excited about the podcast. If you want to check it out and you haven't already, it's at transistor.fm, and the URL for the podcast home is bbrpod.transistor.fm. F as in Frank, M as in Mary. So feel free to check it out there. I'll throw it in the show notes. That's it for today. We're off to a new week. I hope you have a great day. And of course, a great week, which we'll spend together, because I'll be back tomorrow for another 10 minutes of thoughtful dialogue. And in the meantime, please, as always, be good to yourself and others. Thanks for listening. Share it with a friend. Bye-bye for now.